Welcome into the locker room. Happy Friday. We are continuing our preview of wrestling right here in East Alabama. And again, the results in terms of viewer rate and likes and people that have responded has been absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to continue to preview all the local wrestling teams right here in East Alabama all the way through until we get to the beginning of December when we start wrestling season. We've also had our basketball coverage where we're talking with basketball coaches and previewing basketball. Basketball is finally in full swing. And I got to tell you, don't forget to like our East Alabama Now page so you don't miss the locker room. We're here each and every day at 5 p.m. And again, one of the best things about the locker room is the highlights. And our highlights are presented by Lindsay Barger of Really Real Real Estate. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Lindsay Barger of Really Real Real Estate. Are you ready to buy or sell? Well, let me tell you, together with Lindsay Barger, we can make your home dreams a reality. She specializes in home buying, selling, and investing. Whether you want to buy a dream home, whether you want to buy land to build one, whether you want to buy just a personal home, sell a rental home, or buy a home to flip and resell, she is your friend through it all. Lindsay Barger would love to guide you in the process. So call her today at 256-441-2389 for all your real estate needs. And do not forget to like and follow her on Facebook and Instagram at lindsaybarger.realtor. Again, the locker room is not just a 5 p.m. everyday thing, but I'm also bringing you our sports on EA and News every night at 6:30 p.m. We have local sports. And then, of course, Mike Stedham and Katie Ehlers with your local news. You've got John Holder with your local weather. And then I'll bring you your local sports. And we're continuing to preview playoff football tonight for 3 local Calhoun County, Cleveland County teams, and previewing the basketball slate for the weekend. And there's 2 wrestling tournaments this weekend. Obviously, the Sting right there is one of those. And then Oxford's going to be at the Chelsea Invitational. So that's your wrestling action for this weekend. But we're continuing to talk wrestling. And today we are talking with arguably one of the best coaches in the state of Alabama. That is Coach Hartzog of the Alexandria Valley Cubs. I got to tell you, Coach Hartzog is one of the best. This is a guy that this program, not, too long ago. I mean, I know it seems like it, but you go back just a little over 10 years ago. This is a team that didn't have a varsity program there for a while, and Hartzog came in, created that youth program, and it started to feed into the high school. And look at everything he has done at Alexandria, obviously, in just that short time. And really, and when I say they didn't really have a program, I mean, it wasn't one that was on the map necessarily. They put this school on the map. People started to learn about Alexandria, who Alexandria wrestling is. Hartzog is also one of the biggest speakers for our area, one of the biggest speakers for our state when it comes to the sport of wrestling. And he's had some talented guys come through his program. You go back to obviously people think of Alexandria wrestling, Christian Knops, one of the guys that comes to mind, multiple state champion. Fletcher Swindle, another really good guy. Jaden New, Whitaker, you could go on with the amount of talent that has come through Alexandria. And I got to tell you, he has got as talented of a wrestler as anybody's got in the state of Alabama that's coming back this year. And that is Preston Jones. Preston Jones coming into his senior year last year. He finished as the state runner-up at 120 in Class 5A. Obviously fell to Sykes in the state championship match. But Preston Jones, only one loss up to that point in the season. Very good guy to kind of center this team around and for Coach Hartzog. But also Joseph Lomax. This is a guy that also made state last year in Class 5A at the 138-pound weight class. Obviously fell in the semis of the consolation bracket right there. And so these obviously some good guys that kind of led the way for Alexandria last year, paved the way. Those were the only 2 state qualifiers. Obviously Alexandria made that move from the 1A through 5A to the 5A, 6A, now just 5A. But, obviously started the year off with the Coach Tress Payne Memorial Tournament, which is a good, kind of junior high JV tournament to start the season. Great memory of Coach Payne, who invested a lot of time in the sport of wrestling and is still missed to this day. But obviously, they've got some really good tournaments to start the year. Obviously, the Golden Bear Classic. They've got the Otis Weatherly Memorial, the Calhoun County Tournament, the Dick Clem Memorial, and the Mountain Brook Invitational. So Coach Hartzog not backing away from wrestling good competition to help them with seeding in the sectional and state tournament. Got some good tri matches, quads in the middle of the week. So in terms of just this year's team and kind of what they took to certifications, this is a team that the numbers are certainly there. And I look at this roster. Obviously, we talk about Preston Jones as kind of one of them guys that you have to keep an eye on. But look for improvements of guys like Caden Birchfield, guys like Coach Hartzog's son, Hudson, who's still a young guy, Cromer, Aiden Christopher. I'm probably going to say this last name wrong, but Ethan Pisano, Jackson New, Jay New's little brother. Look to see him obviously improve this year. So there's certainly going to be talent there for Alexandria. Still, I feel like probably maybe not a more older team like some, but still definitely got talent top to bottom, and we're looking forward to seeing what all of Alexandria is going to do this year. So we're talking Alexandria Valley Cup Wrestling today, Coach Hartzog, and so I'm excited. So let's just go ahead and get ready to talk with Coach Hartzog. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue on our wrestling preview. Don't go away. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs. Guys, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl, they have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston and you can pick out what you like, want, need, and they can do that there at Ted's. They've also got their partnership with Welburn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. So go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room. Welcome back into the locker room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We are continuing to preview wrestling right here in East Alabama. And today we are joined by what I would say arguably is one of the best coaches in the state of Alabama. That's Frank Hartzog from Alexandria Valley Cubs. Coach, the season is finally here. How you feeling?
I'm excited to see what we can do this year. Excited about, we got a brand new girls team. So I'm pretty excited to just see how that unfolds.
Coach, let's talk about this program. This program is only 9 years old. I mean, this is a program that started in 2014. You kind of started by kind of getting a youth program, and you were kind of feeding that youth program, and then you were able to kind of get that varsity program. And I see Mumford's kind of doing something similar now, where I seen they got a youth team this year, and hopefully that's going to feed into the varsity at some point, getting a team. But just talk about this program only being 9 years, kind of new. Some people may not know the story. Just talk about kind of you getting that youth program going, and then eventually how you guys were able to get a varsity team back in 2014.
All right, this actually just kind of fell in my lap. So Lisa Stewart was our counselor at the elementary school where I was working at the time. And she came to me and said, hey, would you be interested in doing youth wrestling as an after-school activity? I was like, definitely. So we started, and it was going, pretty well, where we had kids that were just loving it and going. We had like 50 kids to start. Then they started doing AYWO, which is like some, tournaments on the weekends, and they fell in love with it. And then as it transitioned 5-6 years later, in 2013, it was just to the point where those kids were going to move if we didn't start a program. So went to the administration at the high school and said, hey, I know somebody that can coach. Harley Lamey was the man on my mind at the time. And it was, hey, we can't hire, we are hiring somebody else in that position, and if you want the program to start, you're going to have to coach it.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'll call your bluff, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Coach, you guys obviously have had a tremendous amount of success over the past really 9 years. But let's just talk about kind of the off season. Obviously, you guys are a little bit bigger school in the area, being 5A, but you still, of course, have football. Alexandria really goes around football. But did you guys get to do any off season training, any summer wrestling? Talk a little bit about what the off season consisted of for you guys.
We started with just workouts, and we do a little mat time, a couple hours a week, and it's developed where some of our kids now go to club training, and most of them are multi-sport athletes. So if they're involved in another sport that requires something, I don't even require anything. I try to reward them and encourage them to do the off-season wrestling. So, we don't really have a regimen that they have to follow, but I reward them for those that do put in the time and tell them, hey, a better you is a better me, and we learned that at a camp we went to. We've been to several camps, Penn State camp, FCA camp with Tom Ryan. So we try and copy the best. Matt Sweatman, Andy Fulmer, I'll find what those guys are doing right, and I will copy them, and I have no problem doing it. And they know it. They know if they tell me a good idea, I'm going to steal it, and they know ahead of time. So that's kind of what we try and do.
Yeah, Coach, you've had some great wrestlers come through this program. Christian Knott, Fletcher Swindle, Whitaker, obviously. That's just a couple names. There's more, obviously, Lane Trapp back in 2014. They can't see it, but he's got a picture right above us of Lane Trapp. But Coach, right now, obviously, I'm just going to be honest with you. When people think Alexandria Wrestling, Preston Jones is the guy that comes to mind. He's a guy that you got coming back this year. But you also had another state qualifier last year in Lomax, who's now gone to graduation. So let's talk about some of the guys. He may be the only one I don't know that you lost to graduation.
You talking this past year?
Yeah. What did you lose? Who do you not have coming back this year?
We lost a few. Some of them are newer. Stacy Jenkins was another good one. I know there's some others, and my mind has went blank. Just doing this for so many years, teaching PE, my mind just doesn't hold up. So many names. Right now, I've got classes of 130. So names have escaped me. But if I had a list in front of me, we lost. I want to say we had 4 seniors last year. But I'm always impressed with the kids that step up and fill those spots, and I feel this year we have some kids that are ready to go, that will step up and help us, I think, have a more successful season than last year.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some of those. Obviously, Preston Jones is the first guy that comes to mind, obviously, returning state runner-up right there, who's been in this program for a while. You can expect to see you wearing a suit because we expect to see him back in the state finals again if he stays healthy. So, the coach, outside of Preston, because everybody knows Preston, outside of him, who are some people that people need to keep an eye on this year?
I'm sure I'll forget somebody, but if I go down the lineup, I think we're going to have a 106 this year because we have a couple that fall in that slot that I think will be competitive. My son, Hudson, who I think will fall around 13, 20. I think he'll be very competitive. These are all kids that I feel like, because we had several last year that came within one match qualifying for state.
Yeah.
Jonathan Santos, he's another one that he was this close. He was a first-year wrestler last year, and he is a hammer. He is a hard worker. Then we move up. We have Aiden Whitaker. We have several young guys that I think will advance this year and surprise some people. Moving on the lineup, we had a transfer in who's an Alexandria kid. He had moved off for a little bit, and he's back home, Dakota Ball. I think he's going to fit in the lineup and do quite well. Let's see, we have some kids that haven't wrestled for a couple of years that are back. We have Jamari McClellan. These are some names I think people end up hearing. We got a brand new kid, senior, that comes out. And we've had this before, but this kid he seems very special. If he can pick up wrestling, he is an athlete. DeMarcus Williams, he'll be upper in the heavyweight area around 190. Dean Boxley, he was in the lineup last year. I think he'll slip in there. Trez was in the lineup. Latrez Turner was in the lineup as heavyweight for the first half of the year, and challenge matches went into double overtime, and he ended up out of the lineup, and I think he'll surprise some people. Caden DeLine's another one. Amare Green, he's another one. I think he'll be in the lineup. I mean, basically, I feel excited about every kid we have.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the work that they're starting to put in and what they're buying into, just giving the best they can in the process and not focusing so much on the outcome, which is hard to do in wrestling.
Yeah.
When you're out there and you lose, it's personal. And so I think hopefully they're buying into, did I get better and did I learn from this loss? And I think that's going to be the key to this year.
Yeah. Coach, obviously you're going to wrestle some teams in this area, but you're one of those teams like Oxford that when it comes to sectionals, you're kind of over here on your own. You don't necessarily got the other teams in the area around you. Being a 5A program, obviously you get to sectionals, you face those teams. Just talk about Class 5A wrestling this year, and just talk about how you think you guys are going to kind of fit into the competition this year.
I think Class 5A is one of the toughest. At least the section we're in. We got Southside, who's a solid team. They got a good coach. You got Scottsboro, who's one of the top teams. Then you got Arab, Gulf Shores, which they're not in our section, but we've got some Moody's in the last couple of years. They've had the wrestlers, and now with some coaching, I think a more permanent situation on their coaching, I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Coach, you've got a special program when you got a guy like Fletcher Swindle who wrestled for you, state champion. When a guy like that goes off to Newberry, he has a great wrestling career, and when he gets done at Newberry, he comes back to Alexandria. And he comes back to the place where he grew up at.
Yeah.
And he gets a teaching job and then can become an assistant. Talk about what that means to you to have these guys that want to come back, and then talk about the guys you got that are kind of helping you out, every single day at practice that people may not see.
Okay. Well, we got Coach Randall Toney, who moved from Ohatchee a couple of years ago. He does a lot of things behind the scenes. In fact, our whole program, that we started in 2013, it has been enormous. Like, it has grown where in the start I did most things, but now there's so much that is done for me and for these kids that if it wasn't, we would not be where we are trending to go. And I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
We might not be the best team in the state, but we have some of the best parents and the best community in the state. Fletcher coming back, it just puts a smile on my face. Like, he is and has and always was one of the hardest workers in our room. He was surrounded by kids just like him, Christian Knopp, Aaron Whitaker. It's just Lane Trapp. Those kids grew up and built this program. People, oh, you're a great coach. No, I've been blessed with those athletes that showed everybody what to do. So Fletcher being back, Coach Swindle, that's been tough to get used to. But man, he's the one I compare all my kids to. He's one of them that it's like, hey, our work, we got to get up here. And so it's nice to have him to go, yeah, Coach, you're right. They're not doing what we need to have done for them to reach their goals.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
Coach, 2 more questions. Let's talk about this program. Obviously, what does it mean to you to be the guy that started kind of this program up, and just what it means to you to Alexandria is a team that people, when they look at track wrestling and they're looking at the tournaments and they're looking at rosters, they're like, okay, what's Alexandria got? You know, you've put this team, I know you wouldn't say you, but the guys, this program is a team that is on the map in terms of the state. People are looking at Alexandria. Just talk about what it means to you to be able to coach this school, this program.
Well, like I said, it kind of fell in my lap, and now I just can't imagine not being involved and it not being here. It's been a blessing to me, and it's really helped me realize how much I loved wrestling. I was coaching wrestling and I was helping, but when I started it from the ground up and watched, you know, how it has evolved and to the, I don't know, just the amount of work that it takes and the people that are involved, it's been special. And so I take, you know, things that happen very personal. So I'm always trying to, you know, stay on the level that I feel we should be. And you know, if something goes wrong, I feel it's my fault, you know. And so it's tough, but I have enjoyed every second of it, and I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah. All right, Coach. When we come back, we're going to interview 2 Alexandria wrestlers. Coach, talk about the 2 you chose and why you chose them.
So a few years ago, stole an idea from Matt Sweatman at Bob Jones. He had went away from team captains and started a leadership team. So these 2 gentlemen are on the leadership team. They're just great kids, not just good wrestlers, great wrestlers, but they're also good people. They're the ones you want your kids to copy and be like. Both good Christian kids that, you know, just set the example for the team. So that's why I chose them. That's the main reason. The bonus is they're both fantastic wrestlers.
All right, guys, well, don't go away. When you come back, you'll see who those 2 wrestlers are. One of them won't be a surprise, that's for sure. All right, let's take a break. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
Welcome to Room by Room Home Furnishings, a locally owned and operated furniture store located in Oxford, Alabama. We've been serving Northeast Alabama and the surrounding area since 2007. We offer stylish and affordable new arrivals and all the top trends to help you get a cozy and homey atmosphere with hand-picked home furnishings and decor to fit anybody's style and budget with knowledge, personality, and good vibes. Let Room by Room in Oxford, Alabama help you score amazing deals and turn your house into a home.
Wait! This isn't a game. It's your basement. It's filling with water. And even worse, it's 2 a.m. Who are you gonna call? Time's up. We'll come out 24/7, 365, any day, any time to put out any fires. Well, not actual fire, but there's a better number for that. But when it comes to plumbing, call One Tom Plumbing.
Welcome back into The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. We were at Alexandria High School talking Alexandria wrestling, and I told you before the break, you would not be surprised by one of the guys next to me. Obviously, Preston Jones, returning state runner-up, but Trez Turner. That's right, Trez Turner?
Yes, sir.
Trez Turner joins us, and let's start with Trez, because Coach was talking about in his interview how you actually lost a challenge match last year. So you actually ended up out of the lineup at the end of the season, but here you are, a leader on this team this season, obviously expecting to be a starter from the beginning to the end. Just talk about kind of how you come into this season motivated after, you know, losing a challenge match last year. You didn't let it kind of, okay, I'm done wrestling. You said, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to get better.
It just made me want to like work harder and like just push myself even more to just be better.
Okay. Now, Preston, let's start with you. Obviously, you got to be humble, but you're coming in as a state runner-up. Obviously, you're hungry to get a state championship.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people see this program. They obviously think of you right now. Obviously, you're a leader on this team. Just talk about what that means to you.
It means a lot. There's a lot of kids on this team that are a lot younger than me, and they really do look up. You just have to, in the room during practice, you just have to work harder than everybody else. You have to be that example. You have to make sure that you're working hard so those younger kids that look up to you know what they need to do.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about the off-season. Did you guys do any off-season training? Did you do any summer wrestling? What did you guys do to improve over the off-season? We'll start with you, Trez.
I went to Elevate to go wrestle. I did 2 off-season tournaments. I went to Battle Alabama and Swamp Donkey, Freestyle and Greco tournament. And yeah.
All right, Preston, what about you?
I went to Elevate too, and I went to Virginia Beach after the wrestling season last year, a couple months. Went 113 to that. And then I went to the Swamp Donkey tournament, and then I went to Fargo, which is in North Dakota, Freestyle and Greco, and then I went to Battle Alabama.
Okay, so you guys definitely put in the off-season training to improve.
Yes, sir.
The season's finally here. What are your guys' kind of early thoughts as we get closer to the first tournament? We'll come back over to you, Preston.
I'm ready for this first tournament. We got a tournament in Lincoln, which is going to be a solid tournament, and then we got some really, really tough tournaments coming up in Birmingham. We got the Mountain Brook, Homewood, and Bob Jones. So we're going to be traveling up to Birmingham to see what we're really about with the Birmingham schools.
Yeah, got a trip to Birmingham. Sounds like a trip to Huntsville as well with Bob Jones.
Bob Jones.
Trez, what about you, man? How you feeling now that the season's getting close?
I'm really, really excited. We really do got some tough tournaments. Like Preston just said, that Bob Jones, Homewood, and Mountain Brook tournament. Yeah, it's going to be a really tough tournament.
All right, guys, let's talk about this year's team. When people watch Alexandria wrestle this year's team, how would you describe what people are going to see?
They're going to see, like, what we did, like, the work we put in. I feel like we'll be, like, really, really good this year. And they'll just see, like, what we've been doing, what we've been training for.
All right, Preston, what about you? When people see you guys wrestle this year, what do you think they're going to remember?
I think they're going to think we're hungry. We got some kids that, if we can get the right weight class, we can have a really good duels team.
Mm-hmm.
We can upset some teams that we probably not supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
We can hang up with some of the schools that we probably didn't beat last year. Like, I think we could beat Southside this year. We lost to Southside last year, but I think we can come back and beat them this year.
All right, a little locker room material. I was going to say don't throw any locker room material out there, Preston. You're going out there early. Is there? We obviously talked about some of those big tournaments, but is there any tournament to you that you just are really looking forward to outside of sectionals and state? Is there any tournament that you're really looking forward to wrestling in specifically this season?
Probably the Gene Taylor Memorial and the Otis Weatherly tournament, our tournament.
All right, what about you, Preston?
Probably the Mountain Brook tournament and really any of the Bob Jones, like any of the Birmingham schools, because a bunch of my friends go up there, and I really just want to talk to them, and I want to have some really good competition, because the schools around here are good, but it's different up there.
Yeah. How do you stay loose, Preston, when you've obviously got a lot of people that know about you being a state runner-up? You know, have really been in this program for a while. How do you really just stay loose and not kind of think about the pressure that comes with people expecting you to make it back kind of to that point that you were at last year?
It does get kind of tough. The pressure gets to me sometimes, but you just can't ever think about it. You just gotta get in your own mind. You just gotta get to the match, and you just gotta wrestle. You just gotta do your own thing, not listen to the crowd, not listen to other people, not listen to their opinion. Just wrestle your best.
Yeah, and Trez, for you, we kind of talked about last year losing that challenge match, but here you are as a leader on this team. What's the motivation for you every day to be one of those guys like Preston that when people talk about Alexandria wrestling this year, they're going to talk about you?
I don't know.
All right. I'll go to the next question. What is Coach Hartzog like at practice? Is he an intense guy? Is he loud? He's a kind of quieter guy when you talk to him around, and about. But can he yell? Is that a thing he has? What's he like at practice?
He's very like loud. He's intense. Like,
okay.
He'll yell at us like to make us work harder and push us harder, like push us past our limits.
Yeah.
And stuff. So he wants us like to be like better and get better every day. And yeah.
All right, Preston, what's Coach like at practice?
Well, now he's a little bit more quieter now that we got Coach Swindle, one of our old wrestlers that won a state championship back in the day.
Is that weird saying Coach Swindle?
It's very weird calling him Coach Swindle. I've been wrestling him since the 6th grade, and it's very odd calling him that. But now that he's here, he's the main one that's getting us going. He's the main one. He's younger. He's got more energy. He's the one that's telling us to let's go, pick it up. Yeah. One of his main words that he's saying right now is urgency. His main word right now is urgency. So anytime if we're not doing something bad, we'll say urgency, and we'll pick it up. Just to know that we need to train harder and we need to push ourselves harder in practice.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Is there anybody you feel like that Coach gets onto more than anybody else on the team? Trez, is there anybody you feel like at practice Coach just really big on them?
Coach Swindle is PJ and Kay
Yeah.
and Amari and Aiden Christopher.
All right, what do you think, Coach? Coach hard on who?
Me. Coaches always, they're always on me. Especially Coach Swindle. He's always standing right there in my circle. He's always standing right there. They even hop in and beat up on me sometimes, but it is what it is. I try to do what I can, but besides me, probably Caden and Trez and them heavyweight groups. We get on them because they're lazy sometimes.
I'm going to give you guys a chance to do something that I haven't done with anybody else. Now, I had Coach Fulmer kind of talk about this, but you guys are one of those teams that you have an FCA huddle. You have Justin Holland that comes in and speaks to you guys every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Trez, just talk about what that's like to have somebody come in and pour into you, and then talk about what it means to you to just know that you're on a team that is looking to not just focus on wins and losses on the mat, but make a spiritual impact.
It feels good, to be honest. Just hearing about the word, the gospel, it's just amazing. And the feeling, like, when he talks about it, it just feels really, really good.
What about you, Preston?
It's good. Like on those Tuesdays before practice, those are always good practices. You get to hear the word, and you just get going. Like you're like, yeah, like let's go. And it always feels good. And even after practice, every single day we pray out. No matter what, we pray out. Before tournaments, we pray out. No matter who it is, we always swap it up. Somebody prays out. We always try to stay humble and just always just shine our light to the Lord.
Yeah. All right, guys. Last question. Outside of you two, who are some guys that people need to keep an eye on this season? We'll start with you, Trez.
Amari Green and Caden DeLon.
All right. What about you, Preston?
Caden's he can show out this year. He's been working during the summer. He did this thing. He got to the blood rounds last year and almost made it to state, but I think he really can. If you just push yourself during practice, he can make it. And Amari Green, he did a lot during the summer. I think he can do good this year.
All right, guys. The Alexandria Valley Cubs Class 5A. Keep an eye on our guys right here, Trez and Preston, as they are getting ready to start the season up in December at the Lincoln Golden Bear Classic. But other than that, that's going to be it for the weekend. We hope you have a great weekend. Come back Monday. We will have highlights, scores, everything from the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Championship games. Other than that, I'm Namath Pitts. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.